So how do they know that he did that?
As I say, if there's no video footage, then he is being surveilled by presumably a surveillance team.
Or they're just completely making this shit up. Excuse my language.
There you go. No video footage for that 45 to 50 minute period.
And this is what they do. This is the black magic. You know, they give the public this little bit of video footage, that little grain of evidence, this little suggestion that this belongs to this person and that this person ate there and that that video is this and that there's a peculiar shape to this vehicle, that must be the one. And then they allow you to put together, they tell you Tyler Robinson's guilty and that he shot Charlie Kirk with a .30-06, and the human brain fills in the rest of the fairy tale. It's black magic. Like, these are the little tiny bits of grainy video where you can't make out who this person is, where things are reversed and backwards, and that there's 7 minutes missing here, and a chunk missing there, and a skip there, and an anomaly here, and another one there. But they tell you that the conclusion is Tyler Robinson, with his grandfather's stolen .30-06 and with his lazy eyes, sniped Charlie Kirk and his Superman-like neck bones of steel, and then confessed to all of it, leaving his DNA everywhere, and turned himself in. And the human brain is supposed to just like, yep, I'm going to adopt that.
For it, but it's interesting that it took him that long to find somewhere to park. He is now on foot, and you'll see Shorts Boy approaching northern Israel.
Look at that. Look at that. The roof jumper, allegedly. Shorts Boy here, approaching northern Israel on the ground.
And at 1:11, you can see that he's putting his left hand into his left pocket. It does look like he's got something in his right hand, possibly a phone, possibly a key fob. It's not really very clear, but you do see him put his left hand in his left pocket. And if you watch carefully, just before he goes out of view, he puts something to or in his left ear.
There it is, yep.
Okay, let it run. Now, you'll notice in the next framing, you'll see a staircase. And on the right-hand side of the staircase, if you pause it, on the bottom, as he approaches the bottom of the staircase, on his right-hand handrail is a black mark.
I see it.
Now,
yep, right here.
What's interesting about this is that this staircase features on 3 occasions. You will notice on this iteration of the video, this is an edit prepared by one of our online investigators called Kate. Her YouTube, the video we're actually watching now is her edit of the video. She can be found on YouTube at kate.investigates, because on the original that was presented in the court, this staircase was reversed. In other words, that staircase was on the left-hand side, and we just could not work out what direction this guy was going in when he reached the bottom of the stairs. It just didn't make any sense. And during one of our weekly sessions, a couple of people, Mycroft and Amy Lisby, realised that the shadows were facing the wrong way for that time in the morning. And the prosecution had entered a video which was completely false, showing the staircase on the wrong side, which is why in this iteration, if you have a look at the notations at the top, they are back to front. But what we are looking at now is the staircase the correct way round. So we're watching Shorts Boy coming down this staircase, and the notation, it is back to front, but it does say, it does give you an idea as to what the level is here. And
Parking level 2.
It looks like it's level 2 on this iteration, okay? So let it play. And at the bottom of the stairs, we can see a car parked. We can see the wheel of a car, and that's important because that'll come up again. And he heads right. He looks left, but he heads right. And if you pause it there, if he had gone left, he would have been going outside of the building, and he would have been going onto a service road, which if he carried on walking in that direction would have taken him down to the back of the Sorensen building, and then he could have had access to the courtyard and so on and so forth. What was interesting was that when Hull was giving his testimony, he was asked where Shorts Boy went when he left the vehicle. And Hull gave a testimony, if you like, which described Shorts Boy going out of the garage on foot, heading to campus and the courtyard area, and then making contact with TPUSA reps. Now, there is no video whatsoever for any of that. So he is asserting that this is what happened, but there is no evidence that Shorts Boy did any of that. What's interesting, though, is that he does assert that Shorts Boy made contact with TPUSA reps. Now, the person who was operating the video, and this is, again, this added to some confusion, the person operating the video in court failed to pause the video at the appropriate time, which initially led us to believe that he was describing these activities as taking place at 9:24:35, which is the time shown in reverse at the top of this video. But as I say, the woman didn't pause the video when Hull was giving an explanation as to Shorts Boy's activities, so it is a bit confusing. What we're now seeing, apparently, is a camera view of level 2, or notated as level 2, and Shorts Boy returning down to the area where we believe his car is parked. So if you let it run, you will hear Hull is asked, what time is it that he goes back to the car? And he says 9:25. And then
he returns on foot back to the same vehicle.
And what time is he returning back to the vehicle?
It's about 9:25 a.m.
So the important thing here is that I counted, and this was something that B brought up. If you count or just set a stopwatch, it is about 60 seconds for him to get to his car, reverse his car out, and drive out of the car park. Departing the car park at 9:33 and 12 seconds. If you set your stopwatch for when you see Shorts Boy walking to the car and the car leaving, it's about 60 seconds. So we are missing another 7 minutes. I can't see where the jump cut is, but clearly there's something weird going on here as well. Takes him about 30 seconds to get to his car. If you look, as this car's reversing, and you look on the right-hand side, you can see the notation parking level 2. You can also see two signs, the blue P1 sign and a grey P2 sign. That may or may not be important later on, but the car is now leaving.
With Mr. Robinson driving the vehicle.
Notation then says parking level 1, and we can see the big blue sign with P1 in white as the vehicle leaves. And you can see the time on the top left, 9:33. Then it cuts to Shorts Boy approaching the top of the stairs. And if you pause it there, you can see this is parking level 1 tunnel. Now, this is where it was really confusing. Parking level 1 appears to be a basement level. In the UK, we would call it lower ground or basement, but they've obviously called it level 1. This is talking about parking level 1 tunnel. So I can only assume that what we're looking at there is ground level outside, and then the levels relate to the various levels within the parking structure. So let it run, and Shorts Boy goes down the stairs and starts walking through the tunnel. Watch him very, very carefully as he turns the corner. And then pause it. Right. As he turns the corner, he literally almost walks into that big square column, which to me suggests that maybe he's not familiar with that tunnel and the access. He's looking for the stairs, but he almost collides with that pillar. If you rewind it a little bit and let him walk through the tunnel and then turn right, you'll see exactly what I mean. And then the other thing to do is let it run, but you'll see another sort of skip. Now, I can't identify any particular missing video footage there, but there's definitely a skip as he approaches the bottom of the stairs. Let him go up the stairs. But as he's going up the stairs, he hesitates and looks to his left.
Yeah. Did you guys catch that?
Let him go up the stairs. He's still going up. He's on the semi-landing. He now touches the backpack with both hands. Now, whether that's a signal to somebody or whether he's just checking that his backpack's there, I don't know. But very strange. This is something that Muppet Masher spotted. So you've got him then going to the top of the stairs. And if you pause it when he's at the top of the stairs, you will see that they are now talking about parking level 1 stairs. So as he goes round the stairs, you see him touch his backpack. He's then going at the top of the stairs. And if you pause it before he disappears, you can see to the right-hand side, the blue P1 sign and the grey P2 sign, which we believe is the level where he parked. Okay, let it run. And then as you see him come out into the open, pause it and look at that staircase. So on the right-hand side is that black mark on the handrail. And now look at the notation. It now says level 1. Previously it said level 2. That car wheel seems to be the same car wheel that we saw earlier. And now he is heading outside. So he's just come up 2 flights of stairs from the what we assume is level 1 tunnel. He's now come up to the same camera as we saw earlier, which was earlier notated as level 2. It's now saying level 1. He is now coming out and going outside. Now,
And from there, where does he go?
From there, he moves across campus, out across Campus Drive, into a wooded area on what would be kind of the northeast side of Campus Drive.
Stu, can I just ask you to rewind a little bit? Because I think what we possibly missed was them saying that he went to Chick-fil-A. So this is
Shorts and then Converse shoes.
And what time did he return to campus?
Just after 10 a.m.
And does he leave the parking structure eventually?
He does, yes.
And during this visit, do you know where he goes after he leaves the parking structure?
Yes, we were able to track his movements on campus. He went to Chick-fil-A.
right. If you stop it there, Stu. So the important thing here is the wording that Hull uses. We managed to track him. Now, that is either going to be video surveillance or it's going to be personal surveillance. In other words, they've got a team out on the ground following this guy around. It's one or the other. You've either got eyes on him or you've got surveillance footage on him. But it was interesting terminology that Hull used. He talks about tracking him to Chick-fil-A. We've seen no video footage of him sitting in Chick-fil-A, but apparently they know that he ordered, sat, and ate food in Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, where's that video evidence in court? I mean, they want to
Exactly.
introduce that he was there, that he ordered, that he sat, that he ate. So where's that footage, and why would they omit that?
Exactly. So we're looking at him saying that he goes to Chick-fil-A in the Sorensen building, that he purchased, sat, and ate food. He moves across Campus
In the
Drive.
Sorensen building and purchased some food, sat and ate the food. Then, I'm sorry,
Where did he purchase the food from?
Chick-fil-A in the Sorensen Center.
And where is that in relation to the amphitheater or the courtyard?
It's kind of on the northeast side of the amphitheater. It would be on the upper back edge of the amphitheater, furthest away from where the tent was that Mr. Koch was in.
And from there, where does he go?
From there, he moves across campus, out across Campus Drive, into a wooded area on what would be kind of the northeast side of Campus Drive. Then returns back onto campus. We noticed at this point that he's no longer carrying the backpack that he was originally wearing. He moves through the Gunther building and the computer science building. And then, I'm sorry?
And then goes where?
Then goes across to the railing that gives access to the roof of the Losi building.
And from there?
From there, he comes back down the stairs and walks off campus from that point.
And about what time was that he left campus that second time? Do you know?
I believe it was approximately 11 a.m. or just after, if I recall. I could verify from my notes if you need an exact time.
Yeah, if you don't mind. That'll help you remember, refer to it. Don't read it out loud. Let me know when you've had a chance to look at that, would you? Were you able to refresh your memory as far as the time?
I was, yes.
And what time was
It
it?
was just prior to 11 a.m. when he walked off campus.
And before we go any further, the parking structure that he left initially, where is that parking structure in relation to the LDS Institute building?
I'm sorry, in relation to?
The LDS Institute building on campus?
I think it would be just to the north of the LDS Institute building, if I recall.
Do you recall whether it was adjacent to the LDS Institute?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. What do we see displayed here now? Go ahead.
You pause it there, Stu,
this-
please.
Go
So
ahead.
he's just described from 3:30 on Kate's video, which is at 10 past 10 and 10 seconds, is where Shorts Boy disappears. And Hull states they tracked the person onto campus. He goes to Chick-fil-A. He purchases, sits and eats food. He moves across Campus Drive. He goes to the wooded area. He returns back to campus without his backpack. He moves through the Gunther building, the computer science building, across the railing that gives access to the Losi roof, back downstairs from the roof, and walks off campus just prior to 11 a.m. Again, no video footage for that 45 to 50 minute period.
So how do they know that he did that?
As I say, if there's no video footage, then he is being surveilled by presumably a surveillance team.
Or they're just completely making this shit up? Excuse my
There you
language.
go. Yeah.
And this is what they do. This is the black magic. You know, they give the public this little bit of video footage, that little grain of evidence, this little suggestion that this belongs to this person and that this person ate there and that video is this and that there's a peculiar shape to this vehicle, that must be the one. And then they allow you to put together, they tell you Tyler Robinson's guilty and that he shot Charlie Kirk with a .30-06, and the human brain fills in the rest of the fairy tale. It's black magic. Like, these are the little tiny bits of grainy video where you can't make out who this person is, where things are reversed and backwards and that there's 7 minutes missing here and a chunk missing there and a skip there and an anomaly here and another one there. But they tell you that the conclusion is Tyler Robinson, with his grandfather's stolen .30-06 and with his lazy eyes, sniped Charlie Kirk in his Superman-like neck bones of steel and then confessed to all of it, leaving his DNA everywhere and turned himself in. And the human brain is supposed to just like, yep, I'm going to adopt that.
So moving on, if you go to 6 minutes 30 on Kate's video, this is where Limping Boy, and this is, again, I'm differentiating these people because we've got absolutely no concrete evidence that any of these people are Tyler Robinson, and they may well be different people. So hence, my description of Shorts Boy, we're now looking at Limping Boy. So Limping Boy
Okay, so we're at
arrives on scene.
6:30. Do you want me to play it with audio?
6:30, just pause it at 6:30, and I'm going to point out a couple of things in advance so that your audience can actually, so that they know what they're looking for. So what I want you to do is, when we do play the video, it's paused at the moment at 6:30, you can see Limping Boy at the top of the steps. And when you press play, what you're going to see is you're going to see Limping Boy approach the top of the steps, but he's going to turn round and take a phone from his right-hand pocket. But there is still something in his right-hand pocket, possibly a second phone. And that's interesting because if he is part of an op, then he may well be using a burner phone rather than his own personal phone. The other thing you're going to see is, as he turns around and takes his phone out, you're going to see a white SUV. And when you see the white SUV appear fully, pause the video again and I'll just point something out to you.
All right, let's roll.
Okay, so if you can see the full side of the white SUV,
White.
you will. This is something that people have got a little bit confused with. They believe that that white SUV is suspicious, and I do too. However, they are trying to assert that this white SUV is the same white SUV that we see later when Blurry Boy jumps off the roof. And we'll obviously come to that. But pay attention to the wheel arches on this car. The wheel arches are black.
Yeah,
or
they have
dark.
fender flares.
Yeah. So it's important to recognise that when you're trying to then identify this vehicle later on. Okay. Let the white car go past. You will see.
Well, let me ask you this. You believe this is Mr. Robinson returning to campus?
I do, yes.
Okay. And
All right, we'll let it pass.
And watch that white vehicle really carefully because it'll suddenly miraculously vanish.
why do you believe it's Mr. Robinson?
The shoot.
Oh, it is a cloaking white SUV with black flare sides.
It'll suddenly miraculously.
I do, yes.
Okay. And
All right, we'll let it pass.
And watch that white vehicle really carefully because it'll suddenly miraculously vanish.
why do you believe it's Mr. Robinson?
The shoot.
Oh, it is a cloaking white SUV with black flare sides. Is that like an Elon Musk type of thing? Is that a new kind of vehicle, guys?
Or Back to the Future, maybe.
Yeah. So you're unbelievable.
Yeah. So when that SUV disappears, there's clearly a jump cut, and we are missing 1 minute 16 seconds. Now, my concern there is we know he's on the phone, he's messaging somebody, or he's checking messages. 1 minute 16 seconds for a video that we've been watching now for over 6.5 minutes is nothing in the whole scheme of things. Why are they cutting such a short section out? And my suspicion is because he meets somebody, or maybe there's another vehicle they don't want you to see, or there's some kind of communication that they don't want you to see. But it's very strange that the white car disappears and we're missing 1 minute 16 seconds.
Detonate the food.
Okay, so I wanted everybody to see this vehicle as it just like disappears again in case anybody missed that. But this is where there is a cut and there is a whole section of film missing, a video missing. So we've got 11:53, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then boom, 11:54, 33.
Yeah. Now, if you let it run, you will
So,
see.
like, what happened? Like, why? Where did the car go? What don't they want you to see there? And you can see that this person is looking back toward that vehicle before then he begins his limp down the stairwell. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you might need to take it back a little bit because the next thing that happens is when that white car disappears, then we see a dark SUV cruise past. And that's when Limping Boy puts the phone back in his pocket. He does appear to be looking at that car as well, but he then puts his phone back in his pocket and then turns towards the stairs. And I want you to watch very, very carefully because on the first 2 stairs that he goes down, he walks normally. He is bending both legs.
All right, they have it frozen here for some context, but here we go. Okay, there's the phone in his right hand. He's at the top of the stairs. White vehicle disappears. There's an edit there, obviously. I want to know what happened. That phone goes back in the pocket. First couple of steps, yep, are just fine. And then he starts limping, as if he's like, what, getting into character here, putting on a show?
Yeah, he suddenly remembers his job, yeah.
This is it. The whole hand has been revealed.
Never stop fighting for real truth and real justice.
We don't know, but we know. We don't know, but we know. I'm going to say about that.
You're not going to like what comes next because I'm 100% ready for it.
Don't deny it, I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. It's crazy, it seems you'll never let up. Please, you gotta keep your head up.